This is about
a stigma.
a stigma. Dia macam stigma.
Stigma.
Yes, the shoulder. Stigma.
Stigma.
Mental health, right? That is mental, not mental. Mental is a different health.
Mental you.
Don't say lah, malu.
Benci. Especially in our age, because our parents' generation are those kind of generation that's just powers through. Kalau if you talk about like mental health issues, they automatically cakap si gila.
Yeah, of course, the moment you start discussing it with people like that you trust, say example your family or your parents, they always tell you, this is nothing lah. It's just
Perasaan kau je.
Yeah, perasaan kau je. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's normal. You know that kind of
Yes.
stuff. In 2021, when I lost my mom, I could not find a space to grieve.
Nowadays, I think with the workload that Singaporeans have to go through, it causes a lot of people to have this thing called high functioning depression.
Yes.
You don't talk about your grief. You don't talk about your sadness. You just take it as it's okay. Like I'm fine. Hi guys! This episode is brought to you by Tourist VPN.
Now, you can surf the net without borders, without worries. Why? Because with enhanced security and strict no locks policy, you can access geo-restricted contents with
Tourist VPN.
Now, an annual subscription of $2.99 a month offers you unlimited time and data usage. So, don't forget to use our promo code OldStreet100 with a capital O, yeah? And get the first month subscription on the house. Now, let's get back to our regular program.
The Old Streets Podcast.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of
The Old Streets Podcast. Another yapping session.
Let's yap.
Right.
Okay.
I'm excited for today's topic.
Okay, why?
Because I think it's something that's very not widely discussed because of the stigma.
Oh,
You
okay.
kind of.
I think I know where this is going.
It is about
A stigma.
a
Okay.
stigma. Dia macam stigma.
Stigma.
Yes, the shoulder.
Stigma.
The stigma that we want to talk about today is actually mental health, right? That is mental, not mental. Mental is a different health.
Mental you.
Don't say lah, malu.
Benci.
But yeah, mental health, right? See, the thing is, I don't know how to kind of say this, but I feel that mental health is a real issue in specifically in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right, because everybody is masked behind high achieving, high achievers, and then doing high-end jobs or at least good-paying jobs.
Yes.
But nobody really sits down and speak about what they go through on a daily basis.
Yes.
So it's more of I feel a lot of people tend to bottle it up, and then eventually it comes to a point where it just explodes.
Yeah. And I also feel that especially in our age, because our parents' generation are those kind of generation that's just powers through. Kalau if you talk about mental health issues, they automatically cakap si gila.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't want to be associated with that word.
With mental
Yeah,
health.
mental health, because it means you will be gila.
Yeah, the that's actually to
Memang
me.
gila lah.
It is.
Kita memang gila semacam lah.
Tak tengok kita baby.
Yeah. Tak nak kau nak tengok tak?
Kau dah start.
Gimana sih? Jangan tahu.
but that's the thing, right? Because a lot of the times people say, mental health is something that you don't want to discuss because it's very personal.
Yeah.
And of course, the moment you start discussing it with people like that you trust, say example your family or your parents, they always tell you, this is nothing lah. It's just
Perasaan kau je.
Yeah, perasaan kau je. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's normal. You know that kind of
Yes.
stuff. But you see, maybe let me take it from my perspective. Okay, my own personal experience, right? I am in an industry that requires me to consistently be there for my clients, 24/7, regardless of the time of the day, right? And in 2021, when I lost my mom, I could not find a space to grieve. Because I still need, regardless of what the situation is, I need to be there for my clients.
Yes.
Right? I still need to meet my clients. I still need to discuss their policies, their investments, their loans, and all of that sort.
Yeah.
So I don't have that luxury to say, I lost my mom. Because even if I go to a client and I'm down and out, I can't tell them that I am this way because I lost my mom.
Yeah.
Because it does not affect them. It's
Yeah.
none of their business, none of their
Yeah.
problems, right?
Yes.
So what I did was I actually bottled that feeling up. Now, of course, for the first few days, I cried myself to sleep because I lost my mom.
Of course.
But after a while, I'm like, no, I cannot focus on this. I need
Yeah.
to focus on what's in front of me.
Yes.
Right. So indirectly, the word is to power through lah.
Yeah.
What happened was, rather than helping, it actually broke me down even further. Because
Oh dear.
I realized that whenever I'm in a very tough situation, I'm in a tight spot, I'm dealing with problems on my plate, there's only my mom that I would go to. She doesn't need to have the solution, but
Just her presence.
Yes, her presence, and sometimes a one-liner from
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
It makes me feel like, okay, I got this.
Yes.
Let's dissect this and digest it slowly,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but because she was not there, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I lost myself. I actually became situational depression.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So what happens in a situation depression, right? It's not that you are depressed all the way through, right? But because you go through a very, I would say like a dark spot in your life or a very tough time in your life, you kind of break down. You disintegrate.
Yeah.
You become like atoms flying around. You try to collect yourself, only to realize that whatever you collect is just slipping through off your finger again.
Yeah.
Multiple times,
Yeah.
right? So it came to a point where I was not able to even function, not just at work, but on a daily life.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to meet friends. I do not want to hang out. I
You just want to retreat back into
Yes.
your space.
yeah, I just want to be on my bed. And on my bed, all I do is just try to sleep. And I sleep excessive amount of hours. Typically, people sleep like maybe say 8-9 hours at max, or 7-6 hours, whatever it is. Please sleep 8 hours, yeah. I was sleeping like 14 hours, 16 hours.
Shit.
I wake up, I pee, and then after which I grab like whatever is in the fridge. Okay, it's so bad that I don't even want to cook or eat. So what I did was whatever's in the fridge, if there's a sausage, pack of sausage, I just throw it into a what do you call that?
Air fryer?
Not air fryer. I didn't bother with air fryer.
Boil.
I boil it, take that thing out. No sauce, nothing at all. Just finish. One go, 10 pieces, which is too much. And then after I go back to my bed. And then I turn on some show which I cannot even concentrate.
Yeah.
And when friends approach me, like, or especially colleagues, hey, Rennie, you've been very quiet at work. You're very off. You're not like you. Is everything okay? My answer to that is, yeah, I'm okay. It's totally fine. No worry. I'm just thinking about how to get on with life. Because there's a lot of things that I need to settle for work. But despite being on the table or even at home when I work from home,
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I'm just clouded. I don't feel like doing anything.
Yes.
So it was like a period for about like maybe say 8 months around there. I was doing nothing except rotting away.
Alamak. Yeah.
Yeah. But here's what happened, right?
How did you get out of it?
There was one person that I have to be thankful for when it comes from the work perspective, and another 2 people that I have to be thankful for. God has given me the grace to have met them, because they approached me instead of me approaching them,
Yeah.
right? So let's talk about the one that's in my personal life first. These two individuals is none other than our producer, Jamil. They brought me out, and it was not to say maybe go for a party or anything. It's just a meal. Hey, come over to our place, or do you want me to come and pick you up and then we can
Yeah.
hang out at our place? We did nothing, but we just talk about everything and anything under the sun,
Yeah.
right? For some reason, I feel like there is a lift to that emotion, that dark space in my head. It kind of clouded away instead of staying there.
Yeah.
Right. So that's for them. So I'm very thankful to the 2 of you guys. Thank you so much for putting me out
Love
of there.
lah the 2 of you sentiasa semestinya.
Kan, semestinya Maggie. By the way, we miss you, Aim. Okay. And the other person that pulled me out of this dark space was actually my boss, Darren Chew. He is truly a leader to me, right? Because I'm a very high functioning person in the company.
Yes.
Right. I do a lot of
course,
things, right? And when he realizes that I'm very away from things, what he did was he actually said, "Hey bro, where you at? Are you home?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm at home now. I'm doing laundry." And he said to me, "Come on, I want to drink kopi with you. I go to your place, drink kopi." So, and he doesn't even drink coffee.
That's so sweet.
That's very sweet of him, right?
Really?
Yeah. So he came over. And we sat down. He said, "Come, I meet you under your void deck, lah." Because I told him my house is in a mess. A bit paiseh lah to ask him to come up, right? So we met at the coffee shop, and he asked me, "How's life?" That one question made me talk for a good 20-30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking, and all he did was like, "Oh, really? Then what happened?"
Yeah.
He allowed me to just
Talk.
like nobody's
Yeah.
business. And by the time I was done with that, all he said was he put one hand on my shoulder and he said, he grabbed me like that. He said, "Whatever is happening, I'm here with you."
Oh no.
I could not hold back my tears. I
Aku
just went,
cannot hold back my tears also. Hold on.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah.
He just did this. He hold it. Whatever is happening, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. And I was like, pardon this word, but man, wow. Actually, there is a world out there that still wants me. That wants that wants me to be better.
Yeah.
So what I gained from this experience of going through situational depression, right? It's normal to feel that way. It's normal to feel that way. But I had to reach out.
Yes.
I had to reach out. I had to
Yeah.
be available to be reached.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm not saying this as a professional, but I would say this as my own personal experience. If you are in the gutters, you're feeling down, you're feeling low, you're feeling upset, you're feeling bad about life in general because of things one after another, right? Don't cut the world off.
Yes.
Leave the door ajar. You don't shut it. Leave the door ajar.
Yeah.
The one that realizes it will come to you.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, sorry. Aku tengah emotional.
I can see it.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
No, it's okay. Actually, more than anything, it helped me. It helped me
Of course.
realize who this person is, where my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and how can I be better.
Yes.
Right. So why we wanted to talk about this mental health topic also is it's not bad for you to feel, oh babe, like babe. Wifey, you don't cry now.
My period. I'm going to have my period. I'm emotional.
Luckily, period, not mental breakdown,
Mental breakdown, maybe.
But what I'm saying here is this, right? It's okay to go through it.
Yeah.
But talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it with somebody. And when somebody reaches out to you, don't shut them out. Regardless who they are.
Correct.
You don't need to tell your story. You don't need to tell your situation.
Yeah.
But by being surrounded in different circumstances,
Yeah.
it helps to elevate your pain in
Yes.
some way. It's not 100% because you still go back to that same bedroom.
Yeah.
You still sleep on the same pillow.
Exactly.
You will still feel the pain.
Yeah.
But it lessens every time. Right? So I always feel that when people have this kind of crushing episodes,
Yeah.
right? Speak with someone.
Exactly. Now here's the thing.
Mm.
There is this story, and there is this generation that uses the word depressed so loosely.
Oh God.
So that's why that sort of like
Dilutes
ticks
it,
me
right?
off,
Yeah.
It makes the word depressed so like it's nothing.
Yeah. Oh my God, everything
I'm
is so bad. Wow, I'm damn
depressed.
depressed.
Then depressed. And then now it makes it feel like depression is just something that it's just something very light. When actually it's something very serious.
Correct.
Yeah, it's so serious that some people will need medication. And I have seen that.
Yeah.
I deal with cases that they have major depression. Yeah. And those are very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they have their relapse and all that, and they have to take their medication, it's actually very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just don't feel that it's very fair for this word depression to be used so loosely.
Correct.
Yeah, because people do go through depression.
Actual
is actually
depression.
Actual depression, and it's actually very real.
Yeah.
And nowadays I think with the workload that Singaporeans have to go through, it causes a lot of people to have this thing called high functioning depression.
Yes.
And these people, maybe they don't realize it, and maybe they do not want to realize it.
Yeah.
They are going through such a tough time, but yet they look so okay, and yet, like you mentioned, they're sleeping way more than they should.
Yeah.
Sometimes not even eating. They
Yeah.
don't realize that it's a problem.
But
But
I
to
like
them, it's
say,
like,
I like my
I
body
boleh jadi
size.
skinny legend. Jangan.
No, okay, no.
Eat your regular meals.
Yes,
Don't
correct.
skip meals.
Correct.
Yeah. But they're like, no, I still meet my friends. So I still go out. But you don't talk about the important things.
Yeah.
You don't talk about your grief. You don't talk about your sadness. You just take it as it's okay. Like I'm fine.
Yeah.
Just happy. Just
Yeah.
talk to people about happy.
I think that's the whole thing. Masking it.
Yeah,
with
it's so dangerous.
It's very dangerous because if the moment you mask it or bottle it away or just shove it, put it under the carpet, right? You are just opening up the door to hell.
Yeah, and my God, it's so bad because once everything hits you in one spot, that's when you cut everything off. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go from there?
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
that's when maybe people who say that they are there for you, they won't understand, so they will leave you on your own.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when you actually need someone the most.
Yep.
Yeah. So, mental health issues right now, I think it's good that actually, right? Just a fun fact. At my workplace, they just did a mental health day
Okay.
for the elderly.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So I feel like it's up and coming in Singapore. Like everyone's starting to accept it more. Nowadays, I don't think at least what I'm hearing lah. All my elderly people, they don't say that siao ah. This one siao. No, they say this one got problem. This one got problem.
What do you call that? Slightly diluted version.
This
Slightly.
one got problem. Need to 要吃药.
Okay.
对 like that, need to eat medicine.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that right now certain agencies are having these sort of things for elderlies as well, because elderlies actually, because of all the isolation that they go through, that's a portal to mental health issues lah. Yeah. So I just want to say take mental health issues properly, especially if you have young ones and you know that something's up with them. Go get them checked. And get them medicated properly.
Okay, but babe, I have to ask you this question, right? When we talk about getting checked, right? See, what happens is in the Singapore healthcare system, when you go through a check, see, regardless of whatever kind of checks you go through, there is a medical record of it. Now, what happens is there are certain career path that will immediately be taken out the moment you're given that diagnosis.
No, that's a problem, isn't
it, right?
It
so
is.
The question is, maybe I put this out to maybe even Ministry of Health and all of the other ministers that handles this, right? How can we seek our help, or at least have checked, right, ourselves when these kind of things happen? Is there a way that we can go around?
Exactly.
Or maybe if any of our audiences know, right? Do share with us. It will be very helpful. I think one of the reasons why, like myself, for example, right, one of the reasons why I did not want to go and see a doctor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, right, was because in my line of career, having mental health issues is not taken lightly, because it may impair your judgment. Right?
And I get it.
But you see, that's the thing. How do I then go about getting treatment or seeking help if that is going to jeopardize the very thing that put food on my rice bowl, food on the table for my family. I resonate with this, because I've heard like cases around where, like, the only sole reason why they are not seeking help, although they know that they need help, it's because they love their job, they want their job, but yet the moment they go and see a doctor and it is in your system, you cannot work there anymore. So there needs to be a conversation about it. Like, okay, let's say if this person really has a record, why can't you just have a conversation with the person and go through their medical record? Are they being medicated? Is it so bad that they need medication? If they do, maybe that's a consideration that you may have. But you see, like in the States, right? Even if you have mental health problems, right? Maybe you go through depression or schizophrenia or bipolar, whatever it is, right? As long as you're medicated, it's there is a regulation that states that employer must still be able to hire them. But in Singapore, it's different. Right? So I think maybe that's also why maybe some parents are afraid to send their kids for, like checkups. Maybe say example, like put it this way: a dad comes home and sees his son behaves very weirdly or has been very off, for a period of time. But he knows that if I were to send my kid for a health check, like a mental health check, and he's diagnosed, say, maybe with bipolar, example, it's not very severe, but it's maybe a what do you call that? Acute bipolar, say, for example, right? Then what happens? Is my son's future going to be affected? Is he going to be able to get a job? Is he going to be able to get a reputable job? And how is his future going to open up after that? So I think it's also on the flip side of things, as much as I believe a lot of people may want to seek help given the circumstances that they may be in. I also feel that they may worry,
Yeah.
right, for their own future.
Then I would like to pose this question
Mm.
for the parents.
Okay.
What about your child's quality of life?
Fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
That's a very fair question.
Yeah. If let's say your child has certain, not say bipolar, let's say schizophrenia,
Okay.
acute one, okay?
Okay.
Then how?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't get your child checked,
Yeah.
are you going or like get them used to medication?
Yeah.
How are they then going to go through adult
Yes, and become
adulthood?
better, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then what is the quality of life then? Like, to me, so what if maybe it might cause them not to have a very reputable job,
Mm-hmm.
but at least let them have a quality of life.
Correct.
At least they can survive and not have hear like voices in their head,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
or like can uncontrollable feelings
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
cause them to maybe have some explosive
Correct.
feelings and all that.
So
Yeah.
it begs down to the question of why are the parents then putting
Yeah.
a certain level of
Expectation.
expectation
Exactly.
out of a child's life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are still young, see.
Right.
Yeah.
I met in my nursing days. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I met a parent. I shall not say of which
Mm-mm,
ethnicity or anything, but I met a parent. Actually, sorry, both husband and wife.
Okay.
Right. Now, the kid was injured and in the hospital while there was some surgeries and all of that was being done. During the follow up, the doctor actually said, we realize that your child has a bit of a behavior kind of stuff, right? So we want to suggest for you to go through some form of assessment with your child so that we can actually diagnose the child correctly.
Yeah.
Right? If there is some mental health problems that we
can
need to
work through
address,
it,
we
yeah.
can work through it. And you know what the father said?
What?
By the way, I was in the room as a chevron. The father said, oh, no problem. This one is normal. This is her normal behavior.
Ha.
Yeah, this one is nothing.
Eh,
But
I cannot with these parents,
Right.
sorry.
and then as healthcare professionals at that
Yeah.
point of time, I was like, no, your child needs
It's
help.
not okay.
It's not okay. It's
Yeah.
going to affect her
Correct.
whole entire being
Correct.
and her life.
Yeah.
And then after which so that happened, the consultation happened.
Yeah.
The father of course refused for the child to see a
help
mental
lah,
health
yeah.
help. They were sitting outside
Uh-huh.
while waiting for another wound dressing thingy.
Okay.
Because remember I told you the child
Yeah.
went for surgery, right? Now, I can understand a couple of languages lah. Let's
Yeah.
just put it that way, okay? So both parents were conversing in their mother tongue language,
Yeah.
saying, mother was asking, no, why are we not,
Sending, yeah.
getting her help?
Yeah.
And father was like, no lah, you send her to, for this kind of help. She's gonna have her future destroyed. She's not gonna be able to get a good job. And then,
Astaghfirullahalazim.
but this is what the father said, okay? We are her, like, as in, she's the only daughter, okay? If we are no longer around, how is she gonna sustain?
That is the whole point. To go and get her checked so that
Kan?
she can sustain herself.
That's exactly what I was in my head. I
Oh my
was like,
God,
macam,
dude.
ya sebelah aku sepak kau.
Ini sepak, ini disiplin. Kau nak apa? Wah, gila babi.
Yeah. So I think what I'm trying to bring out here is this, right, guys? Mental health, it's just like having a cold, cough, or diabetes, or hypertension. It's just another condition.
Yes.
Which can be treated early.
Or it can be sort of managed. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
So I think let's not be so hard on people.
Yep.
Let's not be so scared about, oh, I can't get this job if I have depression or if I have schizophrenia or whatever near that you want to say.
Near kau.
Near far. Titanic. But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, it is whatever condition that you have, it's better to be diagnosed,
Yep.
and then you can treat it or manage it accordingly. And let's be very real, right? Life doesn't need to be all the time up there.
Yeah.
When life is up there for you, you will know it.
Yes.
And it does not mean that you need to have, like, say, a $10,000, $15,000 job.
Exactly.
Right? Life can be up there even if you're earning a decent $6,000-$7,000.
Betul.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
don't be so affected by mental health. Lah.
Correct. And yeah, let's just have that conversation with our loved ones. If you notice that any of them are starting to act a little bit differently, please reach out. Because these people who are going through certain things, they don't know how to handle it themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So reach
Like me.
out. Yeah. And for those of you who feel like maybe things are off, reach out to your loved ones.
In fact, you know
Yeah.
what? I want to open this up, right? For any of you who feels that you want to speak to somebody without any judgment,
Yeah.
drop us a DM.
Yeah.
let us see,
hear, yeah.
and hear your story, so that if we know what to do and we can share with you what our experiences are and how you can get help, we would gladly do so. So to all of our audience, feel free. If you
Yes.
feel, maybe say you are going through a very tough time and you want to speak to somebody
Yep.
without any judgment, zero
Yeah.
judgment, DM us.
Yes.
Okay, and you can find us on Instagram, on YouTube, Spotify, and even TikTok.
Yeah,
DM us. The
And
Old-
at the Old Streets
yes,
SG.
the Old Street SG, right?
Okay, guys. Well, another interesting topic. If you guys like to hear this kind of very like adult topics and all that, right? Just let us know.
Yes.
Like any topic ideas you guys want to have, like some controversial topics to talk about. Let us know. Okay, reach out to us. We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
And for those of you who have not subscribed to Tourist VPN, don't forget we have a promo code for y'all to use.
Old Street 100 with capital.
Okay, and get your first month premium subscription for free on us.
Yes.
All right, and with that, guys, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Take care.
I got the power, the power, power, a power, power, the power, a power, power. I got your brother, louder, shout out, pump up the power, that's how you know what. I got the power, 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 louder.
The All Streets Podcast.